So back on the tippy videos for this one, and I'm going to do another video that I've seen done lots and lots of times with elasticating your pole, but I want to do a little bit different in that it's re-elasticating my pole, because it's all well and good threading elastics through lovely brand new top kits where it's really, really easy to get them right for the first time. But it simply doesn't happen, do you know what I mean? We get one chance at buying a new pole to get them lovely kits to use when they're nice and clean and dry. But the reality of it is, often they can be a bit of a pain because they've got a bit of moisture, a bit of mucking and whatever else. Make it a little bit difficult to get your elastic through your pole, and more importantly to set it perfectly, which is what I want to show you a little tip that I do to get that just right. So what I've literally got, I've got one of my 10 to 12 slicks. That's a Dewar refurb, because he's well and truly had his bottom kick, that one, with a lot of F1 fishing going on. So I'm going to redo that one, make that a lovely nice top kit ready for the weekend. So first step, obviously we're on a brand new slick, my favourite elastic in the world for catching my F1s. And we're going to whiz him open. Let's do it nice and fast while we're on camera so we're not wasting your time. So we're going to chuck him out there, he's ready to go. And the first thing is I want to put a bead at the bottom, because with roller pullers now, that you're not using a puller kit at the coming out of your pole, you're using one at the side. It's very important to work at the bottom end up, just so it goes through that and it's easier to set your tension. A little bit easier by working at the bottom. So I'm going to get one of our lovely little elastication tools ready to go. And I'm going to need him in a second. But firstly, I'm going to get my large bead, which is what I use to trap my elastic, and there's no chance by using a larger one that it can go inside my puller kit and jam that up. So a large one just sits beautifully. So I'm going to get my tool and I want to go inside that way and pull my elastic through that, and I'm actually going to lock this off so he's ready and done by pulling my elastic through there. So my bead's on. What I'm going to do is tie a quick loop. Don't want to waste too much elastic. Just tie a quick loop in that end. So it's not going to be perfect yet, because there's a good chance I'm going to change that. I'm going to lock that off there, lovely. So my bead is on the end of my elastic. Next, we're going to whiz to the end of my elastic, and something that I don't see enough people doing, they mess about with them diamond eye threaders, which a diamond eye threader is definitely needed if you broke your elastic and not going to send any elastic through your top kit. It's the sensiblest and easiest way of getting it back through. But if your elastic's already still in your pole, I mean, use it to your advantage. It's so quick and easy to simply get this, bite my old bead off, and I'm just going to tie them two elastics together. Just one overhand loop, that's plenty of strength there to get them through, and I can just let go of that now, and slowly that'll pass. What I'm going to do, I'm going to break it in half, get this elastic off there. I'm going to pull it through the bottom end first, just so it stays on the camera. So bottom end's done, and now I'm going to whiz it round so you can hopefully still see me, and I'm going to pull it through. Just keep on yanking until that knot pops through this one. So he's coming out, lovely. So my top kit is done. I can bite that off there because there's plenty of allowance for me to tie my new Dacron on the end. So I'm just going to whiz that together for a sec. Make sure I don't let go of this elastic, so it'll go right back through my pole. And quickly I'm going to tie a knot on here, which is what my Dacron's going to jam against. So I'm just going to do one overhand, but with a twist in it. And I'm going to wet that so there's no chance of it burning my elastic. So that's lovely, that little knot on the end of my elastic there. I'm going to snip him a couple of mil just above him. But I might trim that a little bit more yet, we'll see. We're going to put him, let's put him there. So next, let's not lose them. I'm going to get a Dacron. And keeping that loop, make sure you don't lose the loop on your Dacron, because that's what's going to jam it down. I'm going to fasten me Dacron right onto the end, just past that elastic through that, pull it tight down so it's locking right behind that knot, no chance of it going anywhere, and slide me bead right over the top. So that's beautiful as it is, ready to go. And what you find now is, say, because the top kit's been used, you find that the elastic can be a little bit sticky. I mean, it's not gonna pass through my top kit quite as much. So I'm pulling on that and it's not going in as nice as I'd want it to. So by pulling it all back to the tip end, what I'm going to do next is split my top kit down. Say if I was at home, I'd just use a load of water at this time, but instead I'm going to use some of my lube conditioner, and I'm going to tip loads in. Do you know what I mean? I'm not shy with it one little bit. Get that elastic really wet so it's coming out both ends. Put that together, and what that lets me be able to do, if I'm actually going to get off my box and show you from this end, is by pointing at that. If we can watch that tip without me going swimming, is I'm just going to pull on my bead. I can pull that knot out my bead, and I'm just going to keep on pulling, and you can see the elastic just going in nice. Lovely. And when it gets right to there, done, I can let go of my bead. So now though it's just right this end, yeah, if I pull on that, it should return to how it was. So it's just right on that end. So it's tensioned beautifully because it's got all that lube or water where it's just as good. It makes it work perfectly so you can get the perfect tension. So all it's a case of now is me tying another knot right here. Just tighten that up a little bit more. I'm going to tie another loop in that here. Let's get that done. Trim that off, pull it into my bead again, and that is the finished article. Let's get rid of that bit of a spare. All nice, good, perfectly tensioned elastic. But if I pull at this end, exactly the same. It returns every time beautifully without being too strong because I've just tensioned it perfectly with all that lube. It just makes a lovely, really quick, easy job of putting a new elastic in your top kits.